Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to do a flip through of All About Reading Level 1. These are the materials that I bought for my son's kindergarten year. We have previously for his pre-kinder year, which we are about 2 weeks to finish, we have done the All About Reading pre-reading, and so it's the yellow book. And so if you're curious about that, I can do a flip through of that as well. We thoroughly enjoyed it, so we're very excited for All About Reading Level 1. And so like I said, I will be using this for my son's kindergarten year, and he is just at that point where he is definitely ready to start putting it all together. And so their website is wonderful. They definitely have a lot of good resources to check what level is appropriate for your child. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I ordered, and then we'll kind of do a little walkthrough. So I've got the teacher's manual right here, and you can see how thick it is. Oop, it wants to focus on the stickers. So this is the teacher's manual. And then I unwrapped this, but this is going to be the level 1 student packet. You can see what all it comes with. An activity book, which is this, I'll show you in a second. The phonogram cards, word cards, a viewfinder bookmark, which is going to be this. And then it also comes with your stickers for your progress chart. And this is really fun for your child, whether they're struggling or not. Any benchmark of their progress is exciting. Okay, so inside the student packet, like I said, these are going to be those phonogram cards, and you can see that they label everything really well. Now again, there is some prep work. You can see you're gonna have to, and I did this with the pre-K as well. You're gonna have to fold these, and but they do rip really good, and so you know it's gonna take a little bit of prep work, and so you can kind of see what they look like. And then on the back, really nice. So, and they're really good with their color coordinating, so all those yellow ones. And then here is your word cards, and again you can see everything is labeled really well. Okay, same idea, there's quite a few of them. Let's see if there's anything on the back. Nope. So same idea, you will have to fold them and separate them. And then I do have a box that these all go in with the tab dividers. I just didn't bring it upstairs, so it's down in my basement. But it's a big blue box. Okay, and then here is the Blast Off to Reading, a learning activity book. It wants to focus on this one, so you can see how kind of thick it is. Okay, the other thing I have is the letter tiles. If you don't want to go through all the work of this, they do have an app that you can pay for. I don't know if you have to pay for it for every level or how that works. So this is what I chose. Look forward to my quarter review or my mid-year review, and I will talk about all of this. But this is going to have your letter tiles for all levels. It includes the prefixes, suffixes, and the Greek and Latin word parts. It has the tokens, the syllable tags, magnets, and then 2 zip storage bags. So again, used with their levels of reading, but also their levels of spelling, which is really nice. Let's go ahead. Oh, and they have this, so I can hold this up. You can pause it if you want to read this a little bit more. Sorry, there's a glare. Okay, so here is sheet 1. And yeah, they pop out pretty easy, but you can see they're kind of glossy. And you know, I think they'll hold up, you know, but I think that's why some people are like, I'll just do the app, because maybe it would be, you're gonna have to figure out a way to keep these all sorted and not lost. Okay, and then we have our little tokens, vowel teams, other tiles, the sound error, syllable tags. Wow, I mean, this is definitely not how I learned how to read, so public school system for you, right? Okay. So a lot of work, but also just very, very nice. So if you're curious what was all in the tiles, now you're getting a good look at it. So comment down below if you've used this and if you've enjoyed it or not. Okay, now here is your bags, which, I mean, you know, it's nice that they included them, right? Okay, here's all your magnets. That's what was so heavy about it. Okay, so prep work, yes. Okay, so here is your tile layout. Interesting. Okay, so I will probably do a little bit of prep. And I will probably do a video on the prep of all of this. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. You'll definitely want to subscribe and click the bell notification so you know when that video is posted. These are the 3 readers that you get, okay? So with the All About Reading pre-reading, we got 2 books, but they definitely weren't as thick as these. Okay, so this is your first one, and they now are color. So this is Level 1, Volume 1, Run Bug Run. And this is right here, Level 1, Volume 2. Sorry, it's focusing on that one. The Runt Pig. Okay, and then this one is Level 1, Volume 3, Cobweb the Cat. So I'll flip through these a little bit just in case you're curious how simple they are. And they are nice books, hardback. Okay, so here's your contents. So you can see how, how basic these stories are going to be. Okay. I love that they're color. The books for All About Reading, pre-reading were black and white. And they were still great. They were still wonderful. But these are going to be nice, especially when your child is the one actually reading these. I think it feels a little bit more real to them. Like they're reading an actual book, you know, with the beautiful colored images and everything. Okay, I'm going to skip through just a little bit, some chunks, so you can see how it kind of progresses a little bit. So again, very simple, but what your child is learning in their lessons are going to be making them able to now practice what they're learning without getting frustrated. And so the books are definitely geared towards exactly what level your child is on and what they have learned. Definitely going to boost their confidence. Okay. All right, let me flip through the other ones real quick. We'll do it a little bit quicker. So you should see an increase in the difficulty as well as, I'm assuming, the length of the stories maybe? Yeah. So we're getting into much more sentences, I would say. And probably some harder combinations. Still very fun images. Okay, last one. Okay, so definitely some more difficult words. Probably more of a story. Getting to see the progression of like the punctuation and stuff is really exciting. Yep, definitely a lot more on each page. So comment down below if there was something that you saw in any of the books you want a closer look at, or you just have more questions. Can definitely get back to you. This is be the first time we're using Level 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at the activity guide real quick for your child. So they will have the books. They will have in the lessons, you'll have those, you know, different phonogram cards and word cards. And so it'll be interesting how all that gets incorporated in the lessons, but there is activities that they will do. Okay. So here is your progress chart, and this is where you're going to put your stickers. Let me see where you're going to put those stickers, and your child can do it and see their progression. So it's not only exciting for you, it's exciting for them. Okay, our read aloud record. Okay, we have some cutting, and then they'll have to read them to see what picture they go. Okay, so probably some rhyming. So some good hands-on activities. Okay. Oh, some bingo. Okay, so we can kind of see a theme to the pages. So really cute, colorful, lots of fun. I'm going to go ahead and flip just a little bit, flip this through a few pages, kind of get an idea. See the progress. Okay, final blends. It again tells you your lesson, what it's going to go with. And so when we get the teacher's guide out, this is going to make even more sense. Working on the CK. So it's just a really, really great curriculum. They really know what they're doing. It's, I would say, quite a bit of work, and it does take some time. But it is a wonderful program. So let's see. Then you have your certificate of achievement. That'll be really great for your homeschool records, especially if you get audited. Of course, don't give them that one. Make a photocopy. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the teacher's manual. Here is the All About Reading Level 1, the teacher's manual. It's a multi-sensory program, step-by-step lesson plans. Teaches all key reading skills and mastery-based and customizable. And so this All About Reading, they hold your hand. They walk you through. They're going to tell you what to say, how to say it, what to ask, what are possible answers. Okay, they do a wonderful job. I know reading can be one of those really stressful things to teach your children. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, and then you guys can, of course, pause this if you want a closer look. So preparing for level 1, you can pause it and see exactly what they're going to do. Okay, and then you get into your lessons, chapter 2. So I definitely recommend reading all this. They do a lot of really helpful information. Okay, so here is your step-by-step lesson plans, and you can see the method that they use and how they progress. Okay, let's see what's on the other side. Okay, we have lesson 30. So you can pause it and see how it progresses. I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, and then here's all the appendix. And so you have scope and sequence of level 1, phonograms taught, blending procedure, solving the letter reversal, how to assemble your word flippers, tips and activities for the practice sheets, activities for reviewing the phonograms, the word cards, list of comprehension activities. If your student struggles with the stories, methods for counting the syllables, magnet board setup at the end of level 1, leap words taught in level 1, words taught in level 1. So that again is what's so wonderful about this program, is whether you ever have to go back into your appendix, they already give you it for pretty much every possible concern, which I love. Okay, So then you get into preparing for level 1. So I'm not going to flip through every single thing. Again, comment down below if I skip something and you're curious, but we'll just get kind of a basic understanding. It's really nice that they do this, so you can either read the whole thing or you can watch their video. They'll show you how to set it up. And here is gather the materials. They're going to tell you so what you need, what order to do them in, what you should know about the program. Again, you can pause this if you need to. Okay. Again, they want to make sure your child is doing the right level and that they're not too behind or too advanced for them, but also that it's advanced enough for them. That's also important. Okay. Here's your activity book. So again, they're really going to walk you through, as you can see. They're going to show you how to prepare it. Here's setting up your letter tiles. And again, if you chose the letters app, they're going to tell you what to do. If you chose the physical letters. Okay, preview the letter sounds. This is really great that their app, this is a free app, and they'll tell you how to say them if you don't know. Some people don't know that, and so if you can go there and they'll walk you through how to say each letter, the sound it makes. And then this is how much you should spend on this. So 20 minutes per day teaching the reading. They do a 5-day week, and then your lessons often take more than 1 day to complete. In addition to the lessons, they want you to read aloud with your student for 20 minutes per day. They also recommended that in all that reading, pre-reading. Okay, so then here is your step-by-step lesson plans. So this is how your teacher guide will look and how you will see each of your lesson plans. So I will go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and you guys can pause it if you need to. But you can see that they're going to go ahead and tell you what your letters are that you're going to be focused on. So you can see why there is a pre-reading program. So your child can already harness the letters both in their uppercase as well as their lowercase, as well as the sound that they make. You can see why that is an important program and why they have it and why I do think it is beneficial. Okay, so then it's going to tell you your objective. It's that you teach words. See, teach words that contain this. Okay, so we're beyond just teaching the letter, and this is what you're going to need. So they're telling you what letter cards. That's why you'll want to do the prep work and go ahead and get these all separated out. And then of course they're telling you which word cards you'll need, so phonogram cards, and then which word cards. So again, really important why you'll want to prep this before. It's also telling you what blast off to reading page. So page 9 in this activity book. So we'll be doing this in your first lesson. So again, you can see how much they're going to expect your child is already able to know. And then you'll want your progress chart. Okay, so they're going to tell you before you begin. And then they're going to let you go ahead and preview the sounds of the letters. And then down here, they're going to have you refer to the letter tile app or the phonogram sound app for a demonstration of those. And then you're going to flip it over. You're still on the before you begin. Okay, so preview the hand motion for letter A. Okay, so again, you'll want to read all this and know this. Preview your vowels and your consonants, right? Your student will learn that red tiles are vowels and the blue tiles are consonants. And then you can see preview the blending procedure. So this is, of course, where you're going to begin teaching your lesson. So hold up the phonogram card for the letter M. This letter says, now it's your turn. What does this letter say? Student says, and you can see it's italicized so that your child, so that you know as the parent or the guardian what your child's response should be. But again, see how they're going to hold your hand, they're going to walk you through, and then they're going to tell you, cup your hand as if you're holding an apple. When we say, let's pretend that we are holding an apple. Say the sound of A like this, apple. Student pretends to hold an apple and says, apple. Point to the hand symbol on the card. This hand will remind you that there's a hand motion for or A. Shuffle the cards and review them several times. You can see how this is going to progress. Again, information for you, more teaching. Now move on to the 4 tiles. demonstrate how to blend sounds. Okay, so you can see how much they are just holding your hand, telling you what to do, and walking you through. But you can also see why they're saying to limit this for 20 minutes. Because depending on your child, you may fly through this or you may not. So let's see how much more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see. So still in lesson 1. But I think it's good to know that they don't expect you to get this done in one day. Okay, and then here is your complete the activity sheet. Practice reading the words, so the green cards. And then also this, if your student can't automatically read these words by sight, he shouldn't guess at them. Instead, encourage your student to decode words using the blending procedure that was taught in this lesson. Okay. And then they say read aloud time, and that's where they want you to record them and then track your progress. So that was lesson 1. But we covered 4 letters in that. And so then if you turn the page, you get into, whoops, they stick together. You get into lesson 2, which is your next 4 letters. Again, you have your review, and it's like cream colored, if you can see. So that would be good to read like Saturday or Sunday before you start your work week, before you start your homeschooling week. And then you also have your review they want you to do. And then, of course, you can see new teaching, and you're going to go through, and it looks like it's pretty much very similar to what you did in lesson 1. Goes down, and then over here, different activities. Practice reading more words, as you can see. You're going to teach a leap word. And then we have more of this, read your story or your poem, mark your progress, and then you get into lesson 3. So that is pretty much what it looks like. And so that gives you a good feel of it. Now, again, this is multi-sensory, which is really good, especially when you're doing something like reading. And so you have hands-on components, you have activity sheets. Okay, so here's your appendix. So this is really good for just your scope and sequence. This would also be really good to make a copy for your record in case you get audited, as well as those. You have your phonograms that are taught in lessons 1 to 4. Again, this is all really good, not only for your use, but also if you get audited. These would be great things to make a copy of. Here's your appendix on the blending procedure. Very simple. Build the word with the letter tiles, touch under one letter at a time. So again, this would probably be really good to read in case your child does have issues, because once your child starts having issues, that's when everyone gets frustrated. Not only your child, but you as well. And so I think it's really good to probably pre-read some of this. I don't know how much of this they're going to give in the actual lesson. So here's your reversal problems. A lot of kids are going to mix B and D. And so you really want to read through this as well. It's not necessarily like a learning disability. It is just a really common thing that most kids have. Okay. And so they give you different ideas to help your child to sort it out, what works for them to understand. I've also heard there's like a I think it's like a baby and a diaper or something, and I know some people say that one works really well. Okay. So again, they're really gonna focus on this a lot because a lot of kids have this issue. Okay, they're gonna tell you how to assemble your word flippers. And let's see, okay. These are, if you remember, the monsters, so there's just different games and activities, giving you tips on those. So lots of really good ones to do. There's your Feed the Monster again. There's the SWAT, the words. Fun with emotions. Activities for reviewing the phonograms. So they give you several activities or ideas. Okay, because again, you may not need to do all this, but you may have a child who does need the extra help, and maybe it's one time, maybe it's multiple times. But once you start getting frustrated, you will be very happy that they included these. And so I will definitely be reading through all of this. Comprehension activities, if your student struggles with the stories, so you can kind of see that. They give you several ideas. Try buddy reading, check for vision problems, so lots of things to kind of try and rule out. Okay, counting syllables, there's several different methods that they give you. Okay, and then here's your magnet board setup. The leap words taught in level 1. Okay, so just in case you're interested, I know some people get interested in what exactly, you can pause it and look at it. Again, if there's something you see and you're like, oh, I wish you would have zoomed in more or paused longer or whatever, then definitely comment down below. I can always do like a little short. Okay, and then this is just your words that are taught in level 1. So I will zoom in. You'll just have to pause it though. Lots of good words, lots of good words. Oh my, and it just keeps going. Put them all here, let's see. Okay, and that is the teacher's guide. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you have used level 1 All About Reading or any of the levels, go ahead and comment that down below. Let us know. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Did it work for your child? Did it not? Also, any other reading programs, because people are going to be coming to this video to see, should I do All About Reading? Will it work for my child? What all does it come with? And then they may say, oh, wow, I don't want to do this, or this doesn't look like it'll work for my child. They may look in the comments to see what other reading programs people recommend. So if you're a homeschooling mom or a homeschooling dad, or you were homeschooled, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what reading program did you enjoy and what worked for you or what worked for your children. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.